This here is a very simple model known as the simple view of reading. And so on the horizontal bar here, that is word decoding. That's the mechanical skills that have to do with dyslexia. And then we've got a vertical line here. That's language comprehension. Because to read, we need two things. A good reader, so someone sitting in the right-hand corner here, a good reader can read all the words on the page and know what they mean. There are lots of them in the classroom. That might have been you as a child. You have all of the skills you need to be able to read easily. They're still going to get great teaching, but they are not the kids we're here for today. The other three quadrants here all say unsuccessful reading comprehension. They all are children who will struggle to some degree for reading, but they're for very different reasons. The group sitting in our bottom right-hand corner, they are a group of kids who've got good word reading. They can read the chapter book, but they have poor language comprehension. They can't tell you who the characters were. They can't identify their favourite part. They can read the words, but don't understand them. That is not dyslexia. Those children probably have a language difficulty, but it's not dyslexia. The last thing we want to do for them is teach them the sounds again, because they can read really, really well. The group, I've kind of given it away with my slide, but the group who sit up here in this top left-hand corner, this is the dyslexia profile, because these students have poor word decoding. They are students who cannot read the words on the page, or who struggle to read the words on the page, or who struggle to do that quickly. But these are students who understand the language. So one of the quickest ways to identify whether someone fits in this profile is to give them a passage to read. Ask them some questions about it. Then you read the passage aloud to them. If they are understanding much more about the passage when you read it to them, that is not a capital D dyslexia assessment. We haven't gone through the big process, but that tells you they fit that profile and they need help with the words, not with the language. They are very different to that group in the bottom right-hand corner I was just talking about. That group in the bottom right-hand corner, if you read the passage to them, they don't need that. They could do it themselves. And in fact, they're probably annoyed that you read it aloud because you were slower than they could read it. They needed you to explain the passage to them. They needed you to give them the word meanings to understand it. So that's the way we can tease apart the difference between those two in the top left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner. They both struggle to read, but for totally different reasons. Dyslexia is the top left-hand corner. It'll only be a capital D dyslexia if it fit the full criteria from a psychologist, but it's a lowercase dyslexia for us in the classroom. It's the profile for dyslexia, and that child needs to learn to read because they understand the language. But you are going to have a group who sit in the bottom left-hand corner here, who unfortunately are not great at anything. So they struggle to read the words on the page, but they also struggle to understand them. So if you did a similar thing, sitting beside a child, they read the passage on their own and they can't remember much about it or get all of the questions wrong. You read it aloud to them. The student with dyslexia above, they learn it much better and they're much more accurate at answering the questions. That's dyslexia. The students underneath them, they might be able to answer some of the questions better because you read the words correctly, but they won't be able to understand as many. That is not dyslexia because it doesn't describe the degree of difficulty. That is a specific learning disorder with impairment in reading.